What do you call a rivalry when one team just keeps winning over and over? Because if you ask Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, they might just say it's not a rivalry, it's target practice. The Fever just stormed into the United Center and walked out with a 93-78 demolition of the Chicago Sky, and the best part? Caitlin Clark didn't even play. This wasn't just another win. This was a message. A message that Indiana isn't just relying on their star rookie anymore. They're a force, with or without her. And if you're still doubting their depth, think again. The Fever's bench showed grit, hustle, and chemistry that screamed playoff potential. Chicago looked flat, while Indiana looked hungry, and that hunger is only growing. Before we dive into the full breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on updates like this. And if you're fired up for the Fever, drop "fired up" in the comments below. Let's go. Barbie night turned Fever night. The Chicago Sky had a plan. Book the massive United Center. Host the biggest Barbie night celebration ever, with pink everything, Angel Reese energy, and a hyped crowd. But there was one major problem: Angel Reese wasn't even playing due to injury. That didn't stop the Indiana Fever from showing up and completely hijacking the event. They didn't just win. They turned the Sky's big night into a clinic. From the opening whistle, the Fever played like they had something to prove: fast breaks, hard defense, flawless execution. Fans on social media were quick to rename the event Fever Night, and after that 15-point beatdown, no one disagreed. It wasn't just a loss for Chicago, it was a takeover. No rivalry here. Media loves drama, and the narrative they've been selling is Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, the next great WNBA rivalry. ESPN builds it up, social media runs with it, and fans tune in like it's Magic vs. Bird 2.0. But there's a problem. The numbers don't lie. This isn't a rivalry. It's a beatdown. The Fever have won 6 of the last 7 games against the Sky, including 3 this season alone, by margins of 35, 27, and now 15 points. That's a 77-point total beatdown in just 3 games. A rivalry implies back-and-forth battles, close calls, and shared victories. But right now, it's lopsided, one-sided, and entirely in Indiana's control. Until Chicago can punch back and actually win, this isn't a rivalry, it's a reminder of who runs the court. Kelsey Mitchell takes over. With Clark sidelined, someone had to step up. And Kelsey Mitchell didn't just step up, she exploded. Dropping a season-high 35 points, Mitchell went 12, 4, 19 from the field and nailed 7 of 10 three-pointers, an insane 70% from beyond the arc. She joined Caitlin Clark as one of only 2 players in Fever history to score 35+, grab 5 assists, and make 5 or more threes in a single game. Talk about clutch. Talk about leadership. Mitchell turned a so-called rivalry into a solo highlight reel. She didn't just fill in, she owned the spotlight, outshining every player on the floor and reminding everyone that the Fever's firepower runs deep. When her team needed a spark, she brought the entire blaze. It wasn't just a big game, it was a statement of intent. And Mitchell made it loud and clear. Rookie rise, Mikayla Timpson shines. Mitchell didn't do it alone. Mikayla Timpson stepped in with the performance of her young career, scoring 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting. That's 75% efficiency. Her energy, her positioning, her cuts, everything was on point. She didn't hesitate when it mattered, and her hustle plays helped keep the Sky from getting any rhythm. Mitchell called her the ultimate pro, and it showed. Quiet confidence, loud results. Timpson's poise under pressure felt like that of a seasoned vet, not a rookie. She crashed the boards, dove for loose balls, and moved without the ball like she'd been studying this system for years. Every time the Sky threatened to build momentum, Timpson was right there with a smart rotation, a timely bucket, or a clutch stop. It's not just that she contributed, it's how she contributed that turned heads. She's no longer just a name on the roster, she's part of the Fever's future. Chloe BBY's fast impact. And let's not forget Chloe BBY. Signed to a 7-day contract just days before the game, she came in, dropped 8 points in 10 minutes, and hit clutch shots that kept the Fever's momentum alive. That's exactly the kind of bench production you dream of in tight games. Coach Stephanie White praised her ability to stretch the floor and create spacing for players like Aaliyah Boston, and she delivered immediately. Her confidence, quick release, and willingness to shoot under pressure gave the Fever an extra boost when they needed it most, proving she's more than just a short-term fix. Boston does it all. Speaking of Boston, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. That's a box score masterpiece. But Boston's value goes way beyond the numbers. She anchors the team on both ends of the court and is the emotional leader. Whether it's a defensive stop or a backdoor assist, Boston does everything the team needs and then some. The Sky had no answer for her versatility. She plays with poise, toughness, and leadership, commanding attention from defenses and setting the tone for her teammates every time she steps onto the court. Lexi Hull and supporting cast seal the deal. Lexi Hull came in with ice in her veins. Every time the Sky tried to go on a run, Hull answered. Her timing and shot selection were on point, including a buzzer-beater 3 at the end of the third quarter that deflated Chicago's crowd and re-energized the Fever. Depth matters. And this Fever roster, with Clark, without Clark, just proved it. Hull's hustle plays, sharp defense, and calm demeanor under pressure reminded everyone why role players often swing momentum. It wasn't just what she did, it was when and how she did it that made all the difference. Clark on the sidelines, still the star. Even though Caitlin Clark was in street clothes, she still dominated the night. She signed over 200 autographs before and during the game. Fans lined up for her, not Barbie, not anyone else. And while her teammates crushed it on the court, Clark lifted spirits from the bench. That's the definition of star power. She understands her role, even when she's not suited up. And her teammates feed off her energy. Her presence lit up the arena, her encouragement never wavered, and she made sure the spotlight stayed on the Fever family, not just herself. What this win really means. This wasn't just about the final score. This was about momentum. The Fever are now 14-12, sitting third in the East, just 2 games behind Atlanta. They're building real playoff chemistry and winning without their biggest name. That means when Clark returns healthy, likely in mid-August, this team becomes a serious threat. The rebuild is over. Indiana has arrived. And what's more impressive is how different players are stepping up every game, proving this isn't a one-woman show. This win showed they can rally, adjust, and close out tough games. That's championship behavior, and it's catching everyone's attention fast. Chicago's problem. The Sky, on the other hand, are now 7-18 with their 5th straight loss. Angel Reese's absence hurt, but this isn't just about one game. Chicago continues to plan big events hoping for different results, but the Fever keep using those stages to dominate them. Even their home court felt like an Indiana arena. When the opposing fans are louder and your own players are admitting they came in with a "screw it" mentality, that's a culture problem. And it's not going away anytime soon. The locker room looks uninspired, the body language is off, and leadership feels absent when it's needed most. A statement for the future. Indiana didn't just win a game. They made a statement about where they're headed. This is a deep, dangerous team with playoff ambitions and star power. Clark's return will only supercharge a squad that already knows how to win. What's more, their chemistry is growing with every possession, and their confidence is contagious. Veterans are leading, rookies are rising, and the coaching staff has them locked in. As for Chicago, they'll have to go back to the drawing board, again. The blueprint isn't working, and without real change, the gap between them and teams like Indiana will only get wider. This wasn't a rivalry. This was a revelation. The Indiana Fever are no longer a rebuilding team. They're contenders, hungry, fearless, and rising fast. And if this is what they look like without Caitlin Clark, just imagine what's coming next. Her return could ignite a full-on playoff run. This team has heart, hustle, and now, the belief to back it all up. The league should be on high alert. If you're fired up for the Fever, drop a comment below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big moment. We'll see you next time.